in a small, cozy town located in a quiet state of the USA. A horrific tragedy occurred that changed the lives of its residents forever. On a cold evening, in a park where once there was serenity and joy, the bodies of two young people, Mark and Jessica, were found. This place became the scene of a terrible crime. When the police arrived at the scene, they discovered gruesome details. The bloody bodies lay on the ground. Signs of violence spoke volumes about the brutal end of their lives. Their eyes, once full of life and happiness, were now closed forever, and the air was filled with the stench of blood and paralyzing anxiety. The wind carried the quiet whispers of onlookers, who were gathered nearby, shocked at what had happened to these familiar and beloved children. Mark and Jessica were students at the same university, who also worked part-time at a local cafe. The young couple was always friendly and open to those around them. Their conversations and laughter brought bright colors to the gray everyday life. But on that evening, when they decided to take a stroll in the park, someone's malice and jealousy turned against them with unimaginable brutality. Investigators who arrived at the crime scene immediately realized it was not just a murder. It resembled a sinister act of revenge. The signs of a struggle left on the ground indicated that the victims desperately tried to resist. One of the victims, Jessica, had deep wounds, and there were bloody stains on her clothing. Nearby, broken smartphones lay scattered, serving as a reminder of the last moments of life that the young couple spent in fear. As the investigation progressed, tension escalated in the state. There were rumors that the killer was familiar with the victims. The police soon arrested a suspect, a local man named John, known for his aggressive behavior and frequent conflicts with others. While the villain remained at large, residents were consumed by fear. At night, people felt the most frightened. They locked their doors and avoided going out after dark, afraid of becoming the next victims. John, refusing to admit his guilt, became the target of hate, but also evoked pity from some townspeople. "Maybe he's innocent," some whispered. "Look at him, he's a monster," others shouted. All this created discord in the community. Anxiety and unease hung in the air like a dark omen. Alongside John's arrest, investigators continued to dig deeper. They discovered that Mark and Jessica had enemies, including a former classmate of Mark, who had often envied their relationship. This individual's confession was yet another shock. He revealed how he had followed them into that very park many times, watching and dreaming of ending their happiness. His jealousy culminated in a horrific act of violence when, consumed by rage, he decided to exact his revenge. It was possible that Mark conspired with John and paid him to turn their fate into a living hell. As investigators searched the crime scene, they found the murder weapon, a knife, hidden in the nearby bushes. Blood still clung to the blade, likely belonging to the victims. The handle of the knife bore fingerprints, indicating the person they were looking for. Sometime later, the car of the former classmate was discovered far from the crime scene. Inside, they found cheap jewelry belonging to Jessica, which convinced investigators that they were on the right track. After the suspect's arrest, the residents of the state felt a little calmer, but the memory of Mark and Jessica still burned in their hearts. Instead of forgetting, they decided to come together and create a monument that would symbolize their lives and tragic loss. The monument, inaugurated at the crime scene, became the center around which the community gathered, trying to unite and create something good in the wake of the horrific event. Years passed, and even though the tragedy was fatal, people began to forget the horrific crime, leaving only the image of two wonderful children in their memories. Residents organized events and supported one another, learning to cherish each moment. At the cafe where Mark and Jessica worked, memorial nights were held, raising funds to support youth programs and combat violence. Rebuilding trust within the community became an important step forward. Although the place, once filled with laughter and joy, had become a symbol of loss, the townspeople contemplated how to make it better and safer. They began to communicate more, initiating volunteer programs and supporting the youth, quietly remembering that cruelty should not dictate their lives. The tragedy united them, and the memory of the two young souls continued to live in the hearts of everyone who knew them. In every smile, every glance, and every good deed, their spirit persisted, reminding all that love and support could conquer even the darkness of wrath and envy. I hope, my dear friends, this story reminded you of the need to be together, to cherish every moment with loved ones, and to always be vigilant, ensuring safety. Subscribe to my channel, like and comment, as I always have the best stories for you. Hugs, Olivia.